Hey guys, Matt here from Straightforward Auto. Today I'm going to be giving you my honest review on the Icon Flex Head Ratcheting Wrenches. Let's get into it. First, I just want to start out with that this is not an ad and that this is not sponsored in any way, so these are going to be my honest thoughts. Some things that I really like about these, and there's some things that I kind of don't like about them. The first thing that I really like is that they don't skip. So what I mean by that is that it has every size 8 through 19. It doesn't skip around a lot like the Pittsburgh stuff does. The thing that I really do like about these is that the thickness of the handle is just right. It's not too skinny, so that way when you're wrenching on something, it's digging into your hand, and it's not too fat to where it's uncomfortable to handle. The thickness of these, I feel like, are just right. That kind of leads into something that I don't like, is that these heads are pretty thick compared to a lot of other ones. I know that there are specialty tools that you can get where the heads are thinner, but if you're ever working in a tight space or really need to get into somewhere, usually the open ends are a little bit too thick to get onto what you need to get done. The most important part of these tools, I think, are the flex head ratcheting portions. I feel like that's probably the main reason why you'll get them. I have thoroughly enjoyed using these as a mechanic that uses wrenches basically every day. I really like the gear teeth in there. They have the right amount of teeth, so even if you are in a tight spot, you can still get some cranks in there. The flex heads are pretty stiff. They don't just kind of like flop around like a lot of the cheaper ones do. They hold their shape, so that way you can get that to stay on there. Another thing that I really like about these wrenches is that this is the box that it comes in. So it's already like an organized holder. Each one has their own spot. You don't have to go out and get a wrench holder or anything like this. Otherwise, if you don't like the box, the plastic is kind of flimsy, but there is kind of like a cardboard insert to kind of help it hold its shape. But like I said, it does come with its own organizing box, so you can essentially just plunk it right down in your toolbox and not have to worry about picking up something else to keep them organized. These wrenches come in at a steep $200 for all 12 of them. Definitely are some more expensive options out there and definitely some cheaper options. However, I did pick these up on a Black Friday deal where they were 50% off. At $100, I feel like these are a total steal, especially if your job requires you to use wrenches every day. So I would wait for deals and sales for this specific set. Just as another point of reference, this is the Pittsburgh Flex Head Ratcheting Wrench Set. This kit comes in at $32. You only get 5 of the wrenches. It skips 11. So if you ever do find these on sale, I feel like this is the much better set to secure than maybe just picking these up on a whim. I've used these alongside with the Matco set. They're the same thing, same 12-piece set, flex head ratcheting wrenches, but that kit is around $375 on a good day. So even with these being at full price $200, I feel like these compare just as well as a full Matco kit. These wrenches are super durable. I've even had these ratcheting sides on the back end of an impact gun, and I've never had any problems with the gears inside shearing or the teeth skipping. I like the finish on them. They're nice, and you can clearly see the size from any angle, especially when it's in its kit. That's something I really appreciate. Some things I have had issues with is the edges of the open head wrench have started to round off, but with their lifetime warranty, you can go in at any Harbor Freight and get these swapped out at any time. I definitely think that this set of wrenches would be a great addition for any mechanic or home DIYer, especially if you can pick them up on sale. Then I think it's an absolutely fantastic deal.